بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيد خلق الله وعلى من والاه وأما بعد. Tonight we start with Surat Al A'raf. Surat Al A'raf, one of the early surah in the Quran, a long surah. Again, we need to emphasize that we are not interpreting each and every verse in the surah, which is the standard approach that you would find in any interpretation reference, but we are just going to touch bases on a few selected verses. That doesn't mean that we have exhausted the surah. It just gives you a flavor of what this surah is talking about in general. And to start, inshallah, we're going to go to verses 8 and 9 in the early openings of the surah, wherein Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقِّ وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقِّ فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَظْلِمُونَ. What is the verse saying? وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقِّ. الوزن, from which the mizan is derived, and mizan is the balance, right? Al-wazn is the weighing of something, or the weight of something. وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقِّ. On that day, our deeds will be weighed exactly the way we have done them. So Allah explains, فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ, he who has heavy weights in his balance, فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. These are the muflihun. Muflihun from aflaha, meaning the ones who were successful, the ones who gained the benefit. Aflaha falah. Muflih. وَمَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ, and he whose weights are light, comes to the Yawm al-Qiyamah with a light weight of deeds, فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ. Notice the expression that Allah uses. He's saying that those are the ones who have lost themselves. الَّذِينَ خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُم. What a loss that is. You may lose money, you may lose material things, you may lose a loved one, but here you are losing your own self. You see? That's a traumatic expression. Those who come with light weight from al-amal, those are the ones who have lost themselves. بِمَا كَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا يَظْلِمُونَ. Because they were disbelieving in our word, in our signs that we sent to them, in our messengers, and so forth. SubhanAllah. And the idea about these two verses is that I wanted to touch base on the notion of al-wazn, that weight that Allah uses repeatedly. That theme keeps occurring repeatedly in the Quran Kareem, about weighing things, weighing us, and so forth. And metaphorically, you can express your thought about someone by saying he is a heavyweight or he is a lightweight, right? It's the same notion. But in the Quran Kareem it's used repeatedly, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you things are going to be weighed accurately. And this is why you would find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says elsewhere, وَنَضَعُ الْمَوَازِينَ الْقِسْطِ لِيَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. وَنَضَعُ الْمَوَازِينَ الْقِسْطِ لِيَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. On the Day of Judgment, we shall put those proper scales, accurate scales, for everyone, to weigh their deeds. SubhanAllah. Again, mawazin. Mawazin, plural of mizan. And then Allah also says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَظْلِمُ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ. Allah doesn't do you injustice even to the tune of مثقال ذرة, the equivalent of an atom. The equivalent of an atom. La ilaha illallah. Again, that matter of weighing comes into the forefront. Also, we recited our second verse of Al-Isha, the Surat Al and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala concludes with فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَفَّتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. He who has heavy weights is successful. On the other hand, he who has light weights, فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ. Al-Umm is the top of the head. Ummuhu, not the mother. فَأُمُّهُ هَاوِيَةٌ, meaning he will come down into وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ جَهَنَّمْ upside down, with heads down. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
Diving.
Allahu Akbar.
Diving.
Yes. Dive into the faith. Subhanallah. Ibn Abbas commented about this matter of وزن الأعمال, and he said يعني طيب الأعمال are intangibles, مش كده؟ Deeds are intangibles. So how do you weigh an intangible? How do you weigh sadaqah that Allah gave to a needy person, or that Sadiq did a salah for tatawwa? How does that, this is an intangible act, how does that translate into a weight? Ibn Abbas is saying that those deeds will come on the day of judgment. Your deeds are going to come in a materialistic form. Subhanallah. Indeed, you might see, it's in many hadiths, you see somebody, good-looking person coming, smiling towards you, and you see, who are you? And he will answer you, أنا عملك الطيب. I am your good deeds. Subhanak Allahumma. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala personifies those intangibles into things that we can see and address and have a dialogue with even. Same thing with the Quran, same thing with the Siyam. يشفعان يوم القيامة. The hadith says that they intercede on your behalf on the day of judgment. That Quran that you recite. So the Quran is a book. No? On the day of judgment, it will be your defender. It will be your defender. You say, Ya Rab, منعت النوم في تلاوته فشفعني فيه. يعني he stayed up during the night to recite, so, oh Allah, make me intercede on his behalf. Right? تمام? تمام? And the same thing with the salah, with the siyam, right? How are you? What is your name? Yahya. So, الصيام يشفع لك, right? And it will come and will defend you in front of Allah and say, oh Allah, I deprived him from the halal thing that you have allowed for him, which is the food and the drink and the enjoyment of these things. فشفعني فيه. Allah, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said in the hadith, فيشفعان. يعني Allah will accept their intercession. Allah will accept their intercession. We say this because there are some people who go an extreme to say that there is no intercession for anybody. Yani it's just your deeds and your deeds alone, and there is no intercession, which contradicts this hadith sahiha and athar that we know, right? To the point that if you contradict shafa'at al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, then that's not from the deen, but now you're going off a tangent, because we know he himself alayhi salatu wasalam says that he is going to intercede for ummah, and he will reserve his intercession for those who did a lot of salah or siyam. No. It's for those who did a lot of bad deeds. Those are the ones who need the intercession of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he will say, Allah, forgive them for what they've done. They are from my ummah. Right? They said, La ilaha illallah. Right? And in several hadith, there are mentions to the fact that the books will come on the day of judgment, and you will find on one side a big pile of transcripts that represent one's bad deeds. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And on the other side, just a small single page. And then when that page is opened, what's in it is what? Is La ilaha illallah. And when they're put in the balance, La ilaha illallah will win against all of that pile of bad. Subhanakallah. Subhanakallah. It is as if you are essentially given the glad tidings that it's easy to get into the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahi it is. Isn't it? When you do a hasanah, how many multiples do you get in reward? At least 10. الحسنة بعشر أمثالها Quran Kareem. مش كده؟ At least 10. So you do a good deed, you get 10 folds. You do a bad deed, just the one bad deed. Right there and then, if you do 1 and 1, you are 10 to 1 ahead of the game. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Just stay away from al-kabair. Stay away from the major sins. These put you in a totally different classification. Right. So Ibn Abbas is telling us that those deeds that are intangible, in essence, are going to be transformed into something materialistic that can be weighed and will have either a heavy weight or a light weight on the day of judgment. Doesn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in Surat Al A'raf, فَلَا نُقِيمُ لَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَزْنًا. We'll have no weight for them on the day of judgment. They will have no weight. Those are وَلَيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ الْكَافِرِينَ. Kafirin, this ayah is not addressing the mu'mineen. مش كده؟ أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه. كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه. Those are the ones who disbelieve in Allah and His signs that He sent. فحبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا. And as a result of their disbelief, their deeds are going to be depressed. They're going to be lowered. They're going to be suppressed. Habitat meaning what? Meaning something that was supposed to get you a benefit and ends up being worthless, ends up being useless. حبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا. So we give them no weight on the judgment.
Sheikh, that I just mentioned from Surat Al A'raf, I think that's referring to the greatest losers, right? When Allah talks about the greatest losers, they thought that they are doing good deeds all their lives in dunya, but at the end of the day, they will have no weight. Right? So it's for disbelievers, thinking they're doing for community, worldly activity.
There's a lot of applications to those.
Right.
In this context, specifically where the verse is extracted, أولئك الذين حبطت أعمالهم الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه حبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا. This follows the question that Allah presented. What was the question? Ya Mr. Yahya, what is the question? قل هل ننبئكم بالأخسرين أعمالا. Allah is asking, do you want me to tell you who are the worst losers? الأخسرين أعمالا. The worst losers are those الذين ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا. Those are the ones who have gone astray in this dunya, and while going astray, in their own mind they think that they're doing good deeds. أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا. Again, the matter of weight. So I actually wanted to address these verses of the opening verses of Al A'raf related to the subject matter of the West. And to be certain that there is no injustice on that day. And in the Hadith Qudsi, Allah Azza wa Jalla says what? إنما هي أعمالكم أحصيها عليكم. Look at what Allah is telling us. إنما هي أعمالكم أحصيها عليكم. It's nothing but your own deeds that I keep track of, I keep counting for you. That's it. Allah is not going to do you injustice. فَمَنْ وَجَدَ خَيْرًا فَلْيَحْمَدِ اللَّهِ. If you find a good outcome, say what? Alhamdulillah. Say Alhamdulillah. وَمَنْ وَجَدَ غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ. And he who finds other than that, Allah didn't even say وَجَدَ شَرًّا. He says other than that, which is the opposite obviously. فَلَا يَلُومَنَّ إِلَّا نَفْسَهُ. He has nobody to blame but his own self. This is it. This is the core of the faith or the belief of a Muslim. Because we don't have, I was just listening actually to some segment in YouTube, because Mr. Ala is getting addicted to this YouTube now. He keeps sending us all these
bad habits.
There's a lot of good things in the YouTube. There is also a lot of junk.
Yeah,
You have to always keep telling people that it's not all, because it's there, it's, you take it at face value.
There's even Jewish stuff. There's a lot of things.
There is a lot of things.
Also, Sheikh, you can also sometimes get out of control. You can get addicted and you can keep on going and stop to have a limit.
Exactly.
You have to have a control of your nafs.
Yes.
Like discipline with that.
So, I was talking about our faith as Muslimin. And again, this is a little bit of a sidetrack, but it's important, so let me go there. I think Kareem would know that one, and also Shahid would know about that one. Every now and then we get visited by either high school students or college students who are doing research about comparative religion or Islam or things of that nature, religious matters. So if they're from the local area, they look up and they find this is an Islamic center, they contact us and they come. And we sit with them. And I mentioned Shahid and Kareem because those in particular have actually did that in the past. We sit with them and they come to you with questions. And you have to note, by the way, that subhanallah, the way we were brought back home when we were young kids is not the same way that our kids are being brought up in this country. We're not saying that this is good or this is bad. We just have to acknowledge it's different. It's different, yeah. So if I'm going to try and force my kids on the ways that my sheikh used to deal with me back in Alexandria, Egypt 40, 50 years ago, it won't work. It won't work. Now, when kids go to school here in the Western world, they are taught things that we were never even addressing when we were younger kids. They are taught, for example, critical thinking. If you want to bring an idea to the table, you might as well be ready to defend it logically and to bring the idea home. Other than that, you're not going to win the argument. You cannot come and say, because it's like this, because I told you so. Khalas, just take it and don't argue. That doesn't work with our kids.
Yeah, we're different. We brought up in a Muslim country.
Nah.
So we brought up to believe.
Nah.
The kids different. Here, they're not.
They are not.
They have to think.
They are not. They have to think, and they are exposed to so many different, stimulus, right? The stimulus are very different, and not all of them are good. Actually, most of them are bad. So we really have, and I think that this is really the tax that we pay as parents of kids in the Western world.
Even the new generation in our country, they're asking these questions as well.
Wallah.
Right.
It's not
Even
just-
back home.
Even back home.
Yeah.
It's not just here because we say religion.
Nah.
in a country where there are other religions prominent. I mean, I'm from Pakistan.
From Pakistan, same thing.
Same thing. The new generation, they are asking these questions.
Right?
Back in the day, you said do this, and you said okay.
They too can go on YouTube or Google and right and get information and ask questions. Absolutely. So what I'm trying to get to is that going back to those kids that come and ask us here, they come and ask really pointed questions. Yani you have to either be well prepared or you are going to look like looking in bad shape. Some of which are the differences between Christianity and Islam. So because we start always by saying we all worship the same God, right? We all worship the same God. We all are seeking the message of the same God, the one God. So they say, okay, why then the distinctions? We say, yes, because there are indeed differences. And you have to be able to express those differences clearly, without any bigotry, without any siding towards own side just blindfoldedly and trying to defend Islam with not enough logic. No, you cannot do that. So what you end up doing is what? You have to think about these things and address them in a proper context. The Aqidah, for example, and that I don't shy away from expressing to those kids, by the way. I tell them, aside from the fact that that everything is sent from the same source for humanity at large at different stages of its human history, the fact is that conceptually there is a big major difference between Muslim and Muslim in their faith, in the concept of the deeds. We're talking about the West, the West of the deeds. And I said, we don't have in our deen, for example, the notion that a prophet will carry on all the sins of his people the same way that some Christians, and I say some to be reserved because not all Christians, by the way, say that.
Really? I did not know that.
No, it's not all of them that say that. In the same way, and that I got from a teacher, the teacher who was with those kids, Zach, he said, not all Christians say that I believe in the Trinity. SubhanAllah, I said, are you serious?
Where are these people?
I don't know. But he said there are factions of Christians that do believe in the oneness of the Maker of the Creator. SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. At any rate, I said, in our deen, we don't have this notion of somebody will sacrifice his life and his blood to avenge for all the sins of humanity. لا. And what we have, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. We have that كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مِمَّا كَسَبَتْ رَهِينًا. Every soul shall be held accountable for its own. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. A bad deed by someone is not going to affect me. It's going to affect them. هكذا. So there is a self-accountability in this deed that is nowhere in to be seen in other places. Yeah, subhanallah, subhanallah. And therein lies al-'adl. Al-'adl. This is always the reference. When Allah mentions this, وَلَا يَظْلِمُ رَبُّكَ أَحَدًا. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ يَظْلِمُهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. Allah is not going to be unjust to you. The fact is that you are going to be unjust to your own self. Just like the ayah mentioned, خَسِرُوا أَنفُسَهُم, those who lost themselves. Remember? When we mentioned it. It's the same way. By the same token, that Trinity aspect is not void and none in Islam, because we only believe in the one Creator. Also, the fact is that we don't believe that Isa al-Nabiyina alayhi salam is anything other than the Rasul, a messenger. قد خلت من قبل الرسل. Just like Musa, just like Muhammad, just like you. Rasul. He is not the son of والعياذ بالله Allah. He is not Allah. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. I outline these very clearly. Because why do I do that? Because when it comes to the Aqidah, there is no room for wavering. There is no room for wish-wash talk. In this matter, you have to, Ya akhi, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam kept fighting for 13 years for what? That's it, for La ilaha illallah. That's it. There were no takalif, except the salah towards the very end of that Meccan era, right? A year and a half before Hijrah. That's all. Before that, wala had, La ilaha illallah. Because that's the core. That's the core. And that is why this is what you and I have to guard and protect. This La ilaha illallah, this aqidah. And this aqidah is lying where? It's not in the tongue that says La ilaha illallah. It's by the heart that comprehends what La ilaha illallah means. Because if it were a matter of a word to be said, why would Quraysh fight in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam this fierce fight and this fierce persecution of those who say La ilaha illallah? It's because they know, they understand what it means to say, what the repercussions of saying La ilaha illallah are. If La ilaha illallah, then you will worship none than Him, you will seek support and help from none but Him. We just recite in fact, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. We seek the help, ista'ana, meaning the help from Him only, from Him only. And we have to, and that is where your aqidah is proper. When that is in the heart and it's clear. Yani, if I, for example, I'm working at a company and at some point, because of the lack of strong faith, it comes to my mind or heart that my boss is going to be responsible for my raise, and that way maybe I need to be kind and good to him. Wallahi, this is a form of shirk. Isn't it, Ya'la? Because you're missing the boat. You're missing the boat, this risk. He is another human being just like you are. He is being given risk the same way that you are by none other than Ali Qadir. So,
the hidden shirk. It's called the hidden shirk.
Yeah, the
hidden shirk, hidden shirk al-khafi. Because they are not saying that we're going to associate somebody with Allah in our worship, but when they do this, it is by default a form of shirk. I see that, I don't know, but it's not that common here, but it's very common back home. When people buy a new car, and then in that rear view mirror they hang in this nice little big blue thing there, or blue eye or something like that. And you ask, what is this?
The five.
The
Or
charm.
the five, the hand, 5 fingers.
The amulets and all.
To do what?
The charm.
Yes, what is that charm for?
Protection.
Protection from the what? From the evil eye.
Yes.
مش كده؟
Yes.
This is shirk.
Actually, that brings more evil eye, actually.
Isn't it shirk? Wallahi, it is. Why? Because could have sufficed you to say, سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون. Just like, Quran. Read والمعوذتان. نعم يا Mr. Mahmoud.
Well, in Turkey it's popular. We call it like bonjour.
Yeah.
So it distracts the evil eye.
Yeah.
And one day I found it. I was doing some cleaning. I found one in my house from old days.
Yes.
So I put it on the door, outside door. And then in 1 week, in 7 days, the house was broken into. And there were things stolen. So then I got the conclusion that Allah is telling me I'm already protecting.
That's not a good
you.
thing to do, yes.
You didn't. If you need this, then I'm not protecting you anymore.
Yes.
Not gonna protect
Good
you.
point.
Yes.
Good point. Yes.
Wallahi sahih.
So I just threw it away.
Yes, yes. This is like exactly what Shakib is mentioning here. shirk khafi, hidden shirk, hidden association. And all of these simple things that we do without thinking may be really not signs of good faith, of good iman.
Right.
Because La ilaha illallah is something else. The requisites of La ilaha illallah are really hefty, This is why in the Hadith Qudsi, in Mawla Azza wa Jalla says what? Abdi, in ataytani, بقراب الدنيا خطايا ثم جئتني لا تشرك بي شيئا لأتيتك بقرابها مغفرة. Oh my servant, oh my subject, if you come to me with the earth's worth of khataya, of bad deeds, of sins, and with that you came also with no association in your heart, I will come to you with the earth's worth of forgiveness. So long as that La ilaha illallah is clear and sound in the heart. Habibi, tafadhal.
Not to go away from the
No.
topic, just a question. What if you have this thought in your head that you work hard, put in a lot of time and effort to do whatever you're supposed to do at your work, to strive ahead, that impresses your superiors, and in resulting, you're hoping that I can impress them, so then they give me a better review, better money. Does that
no harm there.
Okay.
No harm there. You are really essentially
Doing your best.
giving yourself the momentum to perform to the best of your ability. And there is no harm there. Because that happens, then again there is a reward. Because Shaykh Sha'rawi rahimahullah, he always said, إن الله يعطي الدنيا لمن يحب ومن لا يحب ولا يعطي الآخرة إلا لمن يحب. Hadith. Allah gives the dunya to those whom He loves and to those whom He doesn't. But He doesn't give al-akhirah except to those whom He loves. Subhanallah. So, in that regard, he expanded on the discussion of the hadith by saying, Shaykh Sha'rawi said that, therefore, al-akhdh bil-asbab. Al-akhdh bil-asbab meaning you do what needs to be done. If you do what needs to be done, you will reach the desired goal. You will be successful, you will be rich, you will be famous, you will be right, because you took the measures, the necessary measures to that route. Kafir, Muslim, Boozi, Masihi, Yahudi, nothing, doesn't make any difference. It's a matter of akhdh bil asbab. If you do take the necessary steps, you will get to the necessary, the desired end or shahid.
Yeah, if I may just answer his question with another way, that it is obligatory upon the believers, the Muslims, that whatever they're doing, they need to do that to the best of their ability. Meaning, everything, whether it's your profession or whatever, you want to do it to the utmost skill that you have. And then we also hear that, the right hand that gives is better than the left hand that takes. So in your life, if you are striving to be better so that maybe your financial situation improves so that perhaps you can also help others, then you are on the right path to try to improve yourself and be in a situation that you can also assist others who have less.
Tamam. So, in that regard, we see the notion of Tawheed and the notion of the Aqidah, how important it is to protect that and safeguard that against any impurity. And this is why the example I cited to you, when the kids come and ask, we have to make it very clear. These are points that we differ upon, and these are very basic and fundamental points. We cannot really muddy the waters and say, we can worship together and do this and that. That becomes, gets into what? By the way, Rohan, this is what happened in the time of the Nabi when the prosecution of the Muslimin did not work out. Then they came to Muhammad and said, what, alayhi salatu wasalam? You know what?
We worship your.
Well, let's not fight about this matter. We're going to worship your God for 1 year. And the next year you come and worship our gods with us. And everybody lives in peace. They thought that is a solution. Imagine if it were a matter of dunya and compromising, right, in human interactions, that would be fine. But this is the fundamental core of your existence as a Muslim. La ilaha illallah. مش كده؟ Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أنزل إيه؟ قل يا أيها الكافرون. مش كده؟ That's one of the أسباب of نزول سورة الكافرون. لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد. خلاص؟ So that's the matter of that. طيب, let's move on to yet another verse, still early on in the, early in the middle of the first third of the surah, which is verse 31. Verse 31 says the following: يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا ولا تسرفوا إنه لا يحب المسرفين. Verse 31. يا بني آدم, يا بني آدم. We always emphasize that addresses in the Quran are either in general form, يا بني آدم, يا أيها الناس, or specific to يا أيها الذين آمنوا. Right? يا بني آدم, we're talking about بني Adam is all humanity. Or يا أيها الناس doesn't distinguish on a basis of belief or faith. لا. But when Allah says يا أيها الذين آمنوا, then He is talking to you. Right? And always bear in mind that whenever you read يا أيها الذين آمنوا, expect a taklif that follows.
A command.
Now,
A command.
a command that will follow, because He is addressing the believers. He's going to ask you to do something or not do something. مش كده؟
What is the meaning of taklif?
Oh,
Taklif.
taklif.
Yeah, you just use the word.
Command.
Taklif is a command.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because in our language, it means trouble.
Trouble?
Pain. Trouble.
Wallahi, oh.
Yeah.
That's where the derivation came from.
Yeah,
Then Urdu?
in Urdu, yes. Because when you hear Ya ayyuhal nas, that be prepared, there's taklif coming, that to us means that there's trouble coming.
I mean, it's like rational because, in a way also it can mean pain, right? So obligation kind of begets pain, like in some form, like, effort, endeavor.
No, but in Arabic it means a command.
It means,
Okay.
a command, an obligation.
Obligation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
طيب, what is the verse saying here? يا بني آدم, a generic command. خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد. Be well, groomed wherever you are at a state of prayer. Masjid, in كل مسجد. وكلوا واشربوا, eat and drink. ولا تسرفوا, and don't do that excessively. إنه لا يحب المسرفين. Allah does not like those who go to excess. That's the verse. It's a very simple verse, but it's a very important one too. Why is that verse important? Because, and again, it's Abdullah ibn Abbas is the one who's making the commentary here. He's saying that in the past, before Islam, people went around the Kaaba, right? Are we doing the same thing that the pagans did? The same act, but the rationale is a totally distinctive one. But people came and they revolved around the Kaaba, did tawaf around the Kaaba. The only distinction was that they did that naked. They did that naked. And they would have assignments, during the day it's the time for men to go, and then at night when it's dark it's the time for women, but they go naked around the Kaaba. And this is why he's saying فَأَمَرَهُمُ اللَّهُ بِالزِّينَةِ. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, take your attire when you're going to do that worship, when you're going to do that worship. So therefore, that command specifically is for the mushrikeen. أليس كذلك؟ يعني Muslimin, they don't go around Kaaba naked. So this was for يعني a time that's gone by. تمام. But then again, العلماء, they say, you know what? We like that notion of خذوا زينتكم. Take your best يعني form, best appearance, and we're going to extend it not only for those mushrikeen who went يعني naked before, but for المسلمين كذلك. We're going to make it also applicable to Muslim, but in a form that's different now. خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد means now wear your best clothes. Wear your best clothes. And be of your best form. So they included, for example, putting good طيب, right? To have good smell. مش كده? And for example, making a سواك, brushing the teeth. So you make yourself in the most presentable form when you're going to al-masjid. Subhanallah. This is why, by the way, there is a hadith that tells you that when you're going to, for example, al-Eid, especially when it comes to the Eid, especially when it comes to the Jum'ah, right? Because the Jum'ah is a mini Eid that happens every week. And then there are the big Eids that we have. So, Yani Nabi is telling you, on those occasions, wear your best. Look your best. Groom yourself. If the beard is a little bit out of form, if the fingernails are outgrown, right? If there is a little bit of a tube that will colony or then that's what you perfume or something, that's what you do, and so forth. Siwak if you want to make your mouth. And the fact of the matter is that it is from the good fiqh that when you come to the masjid, today was the Jum'ah and we gathered here, and it was crowded, Jum'ah, right? It was very crowded today. Imagine if somebody who is coming from his morning shift sweaty and not in a car mechanic, for example, coming from the shop with all the greasy outlets or that, stands next to you and brushes it, subhanallah. That's not good fiqh. Also not good fiqh is what? Is for somebody who has a terrible cold and sneezing and sniffling and coughing and doing all these things, and comes and stands next to you in line or sits next to you for a khutbah that stays for half an hour, and for sure you're going to go home carrying the germs, subhanallah. So the good fiqh tells you what? If you are having some of that, pray at home, pray at home. It's much better because the basic fundamental rule of fiqh is what? درء المفسدة مقدم على جلب المنفعة. مش كده يا شيخ؟ What does that mean, Mr. Shakib? درء المفسدة مقدم على جلب المنفعة. It means,
You don't cause trouble for somebody just because.
No. To push away any harm precedes bringing in any good. There is good in coming to the Jama'ah, in the Jumu'ah, and praying and listening to the khutbah and all of that. But better yet, protect the other fellow Muslims from your germs. That is even more important because it pushes away the hardship, the harm that could come. So driving away the harm precedes bringing in the good. That's a generic rule of fiqh.
So it sounds to me like fiqh, the word fiqh has two meanings. One is jurisprudence and the other means etiquette.
Well, it is jurisprudence, basically.
Okay.
And good fiqh meaning that you have good understanding of that.
Okay.
Good understanding.
Good understanding of.
And again, another benefit from this ayah, one of the Salaf, he said that Allah had gathered all the science of medicine in half a verse. Subhanallah. إن الله جمع الطب كله في نصف آية. Wherein it says وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا. eat and drink, and don't do that in excess. He's saying that this is the remedy, this is the medicine for all ills. And it's true. It is true. How is it true? Because go to the hadith. Nabi says what? ما ملأ ابن آدم وعاء شرا من بطنه. Ibn Adam, at large, not a Muslim, not a kafir, Ibn Adam, did not fill a container worse yet than his own stomach. ما ملأ ابن آدم وعاء شرا من بطنه. It's the worst container to make full to the rim. You see? And he continues by saying, حسب ابن آدم أكلات, or another narration, لقيمان. يقمن صلبا. Suffice it for him, for Ibn Adam, to get a few bites that would keep him alive and well. Just a little. مش كده؟ فإن كان فاعلا, if he must eat, like we did, فثلث لطعامه وثلث لشرابه وثلث للنفس.
This is so difficult.
If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, make that 1/3 split. 1/3 for your food, 1/3 for your drink, and leave the rest, the remaining third for yourself. So you have a little bit of room to breathe. Subhanallah. فإن كان فاعلا ثلث لطعامه وثلث لشرابه وثلث لنفسه. So again, this is a verse that tells us about خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد. How we really need to pay attention to.
I have a question.
نعم يا شيخ.
About masjid.
مسجد
خذوا زينتكم
عند كل مسجد.
Is the masjid mean the masjid
لا.
or every salah?
Every salah.
So even if you're
At home, in your
and you're in your
bedroom, and you
pajamas.
put this thing, it's a masjid for you. You are in your pajamas, that's fine. But you can still have nice cologne on your face, or a little bit of a swag, or a toothpaste and a brush on your teeth, and a nice comb of your hair. That's, even in your pajamas, you can look good too.
Well,
So, can you define zina?
Zina. Now, zina is really, linguistically, anything that complements the look, the exterior look, is a zina. And
So how he?
Nah.
Because this is how I understand it. So how did he say it's for people before who? He said it's basically putting clothes.
because
That's
clothes
zina.
are the basic form of zina, right? The clothes is the first item of zina. Is to cover your body in a way that makes you look good. The material is nice, the size is
Well,
fitting.
nice is zina, but clothes could be just anything to cover yourself. You can put
Nah.
a towel around you. It's
Now, but again, if you do that with with a finesse, with a little taste, then that's even better.
So-
this is why they're saying
so he meant before Islam. How did he get to that conclusion?
he did not get to that conclusion. There was some of the
This is my question.
Nah.
Zina doesn't. I don't see
We
the
said that scholars said that we are going to take that to apply to us, and there are hadiths that support that. That's why there are hadiths that support that.
Okay.
Now, and by the way, this is a situation wherein we get into Quran al-Kareem, into another rule, a general rule that a lot of people sometimes misconstrue. And this rule says the following, I'll say it in Arabic because you will understand it and then I'll translate it. It says, العبرة بعموم اللفظ لا بخصوص السبب. Meaning what? Meaning, when you read the Quran and you get a statement, you can take that statement and generalize it beyond the reason for that statement being made, that verse being sent to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for that very occasion. مش كده؟ you can generalize that for other things. But that rule, by the way, is very tricky because sometimes it does not apply. So you have to have a little bit of a critical
Very
eye.
careful.
little fiqh.
I fiqh again. Again, fact, proper understanding of where the rule that you generalize the statement to mean
It's a dangerous area.
it's a very dangerous يعني a little bit يعني care maybe needed there. Rohan.
Sheikh, just a grammatical question.
أيوة.
So zina and so is zuyina bab fa'ala of zina or no?
نعم زين. اوكي we see الله اكبر. زين لهم الشيطان سوء عملهم مش كده؟ زين لهم الشيطان يعني ايه؟ يعني الشيطان made their bad deeds appear to be looking good. So make it like a zina. مش كده؟ Do you see the relation? That's how it is. To make something look good.
So then ayah زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء.
أيوة طبعا.
So that zuyina is not actually that beautiful, but it's being made to appear even more glamorous.
To appeal to.
To appear.
So I guess we can
زين مولانا مبني للمجهول زين.
زين زين
There is shaitan who does the thing.
أيوة.
زين is.
زين للناس بقى it's another grammatical point. زين is said to be مبني للمجهول. How do you translate the مبني للمجهول?
Passive, right? Passive form. Passive form. Like this active form and this passive.
Yes. The simple explanation is that in any sentence there is a verb and there is a subject.
Yeah.
Right? When the subject is eliminated, the verb is said to be مبني للمجهول. The unknown. يعني the subject is unknown.
The fa'il is not known.
فعل is clear. يعني it's referring to the person who did the فعل. But when you say فعل be كذا, you're not saying who did that to you. It's unknown. مبني للمجهول. فزين الناس, would that be by the shaitan? Allah أعلم. Could be by Allah. Allah أعلم. Could be by themselves, or يعني by each others.
يعني the community.
Or the community, or what is the culture and law.
طبعا.
All of this is acceptable because the statement is مبني للمجهول. It's unknown. The subject is unknown.
Very interesting. So it kind of puts you into thought about that ayah. زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. What can actually end up causing?
Inshallah, we can talk about that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's just not in Al A'raf.
Sorry.
Most likely we will get to it. طبعا إن شاء الله. If Allah gives us يعني the time to address all of that. And by the way, that ayah is said to be يعني collecting all matters of dunya that are loved by man. Let's from Shawat. What was the first one that's mentioned in the ayah?
Nisa.
Zina, that's what
You got it.
That is it.
you need to go outside.
So I think we can accept any commentary or questions now and conclude inshallah. Shahid Habibi.
So first question I have is that when you read this surah, is it also important that we should know when this came in and what the circumstances were, so that it has more, the meaning of this surah has more.
The ayah, you mean, right? Yes. As a matter of fact, at least that's how we were taught. Yani, when we were young kids, and we were taught yani, in the Shubat al-Muslimin, Alexandria, Egypt, right next to the Mediterranean. Our Sheikh used to tell us that you will not understand the verse of the Quran unless you understand the reason of the revelation. Then and only then you will put it in context. Other than that, you may go astray. And you remember we talked about how we can misinterpret things. Remember we discussed that. And for example, that happens in the Quran al-Karim. When you recite the Quran, if you don't go into a little bit of depth about the verse, you may take it at a different For example, I'll give you one example to I don't want to go in much elaboration here, but just an example to make the point. In Surat Al A'raf, 195, inshallah it would be, Allah says, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَ. And you shall not throw your hands into harm's way. وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَ. Now, if you take that part of a verse, that's not even the whole verse. It's just the middle part of the verse. We use it commonly nowadays to mean that you should not put yourself in harm's way. You should protect yourself from subjecting yourself to danger. Something to that effect. And as a matter of fact, even at the time of the Sahaba, that sometimes was the understanding. And there was an occasion indeed wherein there was in the battlefield after Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam departed in Constantinople, which is up there towards the Roman Empire from the Sham side, and the Muslims were in battle, and armies were lined up, and then before the battle even started, one from the Muslim army just darts out of the line and runs into the enemy camp by himself. So the rest of the Sahaba looked around and said, "Wallahi laqad alqa biyadihi ila at-tahluk." He threw himself into harm's way. Listening to that comment was none other than Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. And whom he is. Who is Abu Ayyub al-Ansari?
He's one of the big, very close.
Yeah, he has a very characteristic mentioned in the Sirah, which is that when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came into Medina, it was in the house of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari that he resided until the Masjid al-Nabawi and the rest of it was built. So he was in the hospitality of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. What a pleasure and what an honor, subhanAllah. What an honor that is. And by the way, when that happened, that's another footnote, Abu Ayyub al-Ansari lived in a home that is 2 stories, So he said, Ya Rasulullah, you have to reside in the 2nd floor. I can't have you reside in the 1st floor and I reside in the 2nd floor. And Nabi said, let me stay down. And he said, no. And then that happened. But then, the very next day, he noticed that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is being visited by a lot of people. He has to see a lot of people. So, this is not practical. So he switched and he allowed the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to stay at the lower level so that he will be more access to the people who want to see him and ask him and so forth. But Abu Ayyub al-Ansari had this honor, an honor that is unique to this man, nobody else. He said, "Wallahi إنكم تتأولون الآية على غير محملها." You are taking this verse, you are interpreting this verse not in the right way. وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَ. This is how so. He said, this verse was sent to Rasulullah ﷺ to address us Al-Ansar. It's for us Al-Ansar. Why? Because after the fighting and the Badr, Uhud, Khandaq and all of the battles and the like, we wanted to have some time off. We want to have some relaxed time wherein we sit with our families and don't have to spend so much on on the fighting and all of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says what? وَأَنْفِقُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. وَأَنْفِقُوا, spend for the cause of Allah. وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَ. وَأَحْسِنُوا, the rest of the verse, وَأَحْسِنُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. So therefore, he is telling them, essentially, that's exactly what he told them. He said, therefore, this verse is not to talk about al-qital, about fighting. No, it's to talk about spending. Don't sit back and not continue doing what you did before. About al-infaq. You see how misinterpretation can creep into by just taking an excerpt of a verse, but the whole verse, if you take it together or you you take it in conjunction with the preceding or the successive verse, then it makes a difference.
But the verse you recited, it said, "Do not put yourself in harm's way."
Now, by way of what? By way of not spending.
Okay.
By way of not spending,
Okay,
you are
got
putting
it.
yourself in harm's way.
Got it. Okay.
You see?
Okay. Okay.
Now, that's why the ayah concludes what? وَأَحْسِنُوا وَأَحْسِنُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Ihsan is giving above what is needed. Yani, your zakat, ya shahid, is 2.5%. But at the end of the year, you decide, you know what? I'm going to give 5%. That's ihsan. That is ihsan.
But Sheikh, I think in Arabic, I'm sure, I think the spending is just not restricted to money, right? I think it's also the spending of basically your strength and everything else, right?
طبعا.
It means
طبعا.
also goes.
When you تجاهد في سبيل الله, Allah will say بأموالهم وأنفسهم. بأموالهم وأنفسهم. طبعا.
One more suggestion I have is that, is there any way you could tell us which ayat you're going to
Talk about next time?
about, so we can read?
Wallahi, that's easy enough
Great
because
Yeah? And it will give us more benefit because we understand a little bit
Prepared a
before
bit.
prepared.
طيب.
More prepared.
Well, for next time, inshallah,
If you could text us the ayat number, so we will able to read.
text it to you.
Yeah, text
خلاص,
to the group.
to
Text
the
to
group.
everybody.
I'll text it to the group.
Yeah, but then his name is not in the.
Shakib's name is not in the group, and we are waiting.
Right.
Even neither Rohan nor.
You can give him his
Kareem.
phone number. I think
But-
that's same.
but anyway,
Okay.
40. we
40,
can't.
Whoa.
40 and 46 is what we're going to be addressing next time, inshallah.
What
40
is
and 46.
what is the surah number?
A'raf. Al-A'raf.
Okay.
Would be what, 7?
Okay.
I guess
And verses 40 to
And 40 and 46.
40
you
and-
jump from 40 to
Yes,
46.
yes.
Okay.
As I mentioned to you, we don't really go
Understood.
in sequence now.
Understood.
40 and 46 at least are the ones that we're going to be covering,
Al-A'raf.
inshallah, next time.
Al-A'raf.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
text it.
How about that?
Inshallah.
So there is no need to
Good.
text now.
No, it's okay.
خلاص. Any other خلاص دعاء إن شاء الله. طيب. اللهم إنك عفو.